And again, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. This guy reports that voter fraud in another form. They're moving pre-ballots that are done from one precinct to another. And he also caught people moving ballots from one pile to another. And he was working for one party, and then they have 100% turnout. That never happens. All fraudulent things. One is caught on film, one is reported at 100% voter turnout.
Some people may have seen it. Or if you did see it, it was not as good quality, but we revamped it, and it's a shorter version of it to show you what happened. One of the volunteers for the Tim Canova campaign, who shall remain unnamed for safety purposes, caught something that should have had every news station in Broward County as we speak. Take a look.
Sir, officer, are these people coming from other precincts? Is that what's happening? So they let them transport them with one person in the car from other precincts? Apparently so, huh? That doesn't seem right, does it? I know. But you know it doesn't. So apparently Broward County allows people to drive from other precincts by themselves. There's people with just one person in the car here. And they let them just drive over with the ballot.
Letting them drive over with a ballot already done from another precinct.
Precincts being driven in, or excuse me, ballots from different precincts being driven in by people who are not accompanied by anybody but themselves, to be dumped into a truck with ballots from the precinct that the volunteer was at. Is that legal? Hell no. I mean, not only is it illegal, but it's completely and totally unethical. But it's also super illegal. Now, this behavior is it was not only unique to that precinct, because myself and my good friend Suzanne, who was also volunteering on this Tim Canova campaign, saw someone taking ballots from one pile and arbitrarily, at least seemingly so, putting them in another pile that was neatly stacked off to the side. And she did this periodically. And once she realized that her and I were watching her, that Suzanne and I was watching her do these things, she called her little supervisor over, and she called Brenda Snipes directly, and she didn't say that there was a problem because two volunteers wouldn't leave, because there was actually no reason for us to leave. We weren't breaking any laws. She didn't say that there were two volunteers who were trying to disrupt the the election results, or they were distracting people. What she said was there are two people from Tim Canova's campaign who would not leave, and that she was going to call the cops if we did not leave, despite the fact that we did not break any rules. So this behavior that you saw in that video was non-unique to that precinct. So as you see, it looks like ballots are being transported either to a location or away from a location. But let's be very clear, the bags didn't have like precinct numbers on them. They were being arbitrarily trucked in and thrown somewhere. As you've probably heard in the news at this point, there have been people saying that there have been recounts initiated not only in Rick Scott's race, but also in the gubernatorial race, potentially. But unfortunately, Gillum conceded, but it still is triggering an automatic recount. And a couple of other House races in Florida. Long story short, Broward County messed up potentially the entire election. And we need to look no further than what they did in the Tim Canova elections. And we can just look at the numbers. What you are seeing right now is the election night results. Okay? 58.4%, 154,000 for Debbie Wasserman Schultz, 12,000 900 for Tim Canova. As you can see, and I can't iterate this enough, 100% reporting. 100% reporting.
You got to understand that this 100% reporting never happens. Remember, this is Debbie Wasserman Schultz, another Democratic real scumbag. And this knowledge is just going on with Democrats. Don't get me wrong. There's now reports that's going on in Republican districts too. But this voting fraud is serious. It's going on way too often. It's a problem in the United States. Anybody says it isn't, is missing the point. And this is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana.